case analysis. Every single video is different. So while one video may be fair use, another one might not. And two judges can look at the same video, and one could think the commentary is fair use and one could think it's not. So it's very difficult to nail a copyright case and say, yep, that one is transformative and that one's not. However, what he is pointing out is a problem on all platforms, especially regarding cannibalizing traffic, because at the core of the analysis, and this is something I'm going to go back to time and time again, is are you using your video as a substitute for the original video? If the answer to that is yes, substitute for
that is the whole problem. Because if people are using everyone's videos instead of reacting to it and being lazy and doing their own videos, and they admit to it, then yeah, they do deserve it.
For the original video, someone would watch your video instead of the original, then the judge is going to weigh on those scales on the side of this is not fair use, this is not protected, and you are violating your infringing copyright. So this is not something that's black and white. This is not something that is super objective. It is a subjective analysis based on several factors, but that substitute angle is the most important thing you should think about. Are they trying to use this as a replacement for the original? And are they doing it by taking the original wholesale? And that's why I've always said, including on my,
like, if you are using someone else's video, it's like you could at least send them their way to watch it again, just so they get the views on it and they get the money from it as well.
channel, I've said, look, I don't have a problem if anybody clips my stuff, etc. The only thing that is problematic is if you take the entire video with no commentary, no clipping, whatever, and you just
Exactly.
That is a problem. That is a substitute. That is saying, okay, instead of going here, I'm just going to re-upload your video here. That's clearly infringement, right? So what these people are going to argue is, okay,
well, you're just setting yourself up, aren't you?
Sitting in a chair in the corner fundamentally change that. And how much do you need to talk? How much do you need to interact? How much do you need to do in order for that to be transformative? Do you need to talk 10% of the time, 5% of the time, 25% of the time? What ratio of input is necessary for something to be transformative? And that's a very important question. And I do feel that there are judges that could think either way. But we're going to get into it because these specific examples are important. But more broadly, a lot of people do this. A lot of people just watch videos, sit in the corner in the little cube, and really don't add much.
What it really all comes down to is the judges, what they think.
Really don't have much to add. And I'm not even going to point out whether it's educational or not. I'm just talking in general for commentary. Just sitting in the corner and not doing much. Yeah, that's not really adding too much to the overall conversation.
What Lamino had to say about.
Like, one thing I don't understand is how they're getting the views and everything just from watching other people's, not talking about it, not going through it. Surely, if that viewer wants to watch it, they'll watch it from the original source, wouldn't they?
To my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission.
So I will say this. This is my comment on that, is that it sometimes is necessary to show the whole thing because you need the context of the whole work. So if you're going to give an opinion, you're going to give a reaction, you're going to comment on something, you want to comment on the entirety. Just commenting on a clip can often be out of context. Oftentimes, if you just take 30 seconds or 45 seconds or 1 minute of something, that's not the full context of the conversation. And in fact, I would encourage people to look at the whole thing, because oftentimes people are not looking at everything they're saying. Now, mind you, maybe looking at like super chats or something else, rewatching a live is not necessary. Okay, whatever. But in general, if someone is trying to give a message, you would want them to fully respond to that. However, you'd want them to actually be contributing a response, right? That's optimistically. But let's continue. And by the way, I've always said this: if someone is commenting on my stuff and they watch the whole video, that's fine for me, right? For me. But others may feel differently about that. And many people, by the way, and I'll know by the poll, many people think reaction channels are just content leeches. So we'll see what the poll comes out. I'm going to leave it up for a while.
Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry, because why should these content thieves essentially get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean,
well, okay, I'll tell you this. There's one reason why. Number one, the author might be boring as hell. They might be really freaking boring. Sometimes people they're just paint drying. So the person commenting on it can bring the animation, can bring the personality, can bring the comments that really bring it to life. And you see that.
Well, yeah, that is a good point as well. Because if people, what's the word, make it look better, putting funny animations in or taking the piss out of it or whatnot, obviously they're going to do it.
With certain channels, I think Asmongold is a great example of, he can watch something that would be objectively boring otherwise, perhaps, or maybe not that interesting, but then by commenting on it, it brings out a different facade, because you're bringing out a comment on an aspect of something. So saying, hey, this particular thing is interesting, let's talk about that. Or maybe it's something that's not said, right? So you're watching a video and they're talking about anything, right? The crime of murder, right? And they're talking about how bad it is, right? But maybe they leave out false convictions, and you want to talk about false convictions. There could be something that's brought up that's relevant that's not in the video. So let's continue.
people don't like injustice, and we all see this, and no, it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called in my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright, or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because
Well, that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your
Do
prime,
that.
then watch
Bro,
your prime
do
content.
it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Okay, sure.
Okay, that's content though. There are some people that would watch a guy do the worm for a week. I'm not gonna lie. The internet's a weird place. Some people would watch that. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am.
So there's a key word he used, and I do love that he used the French because he's Quebecois. That is good. I will say, you know what? I'm going to give it a point on that. One thing he used there, an important word, is malicious. So key in on that word, because that may be the thing that screws the reaction channels that he's suing. And that may be the line that the
Yeah, definitely. Because if you watch the other video, they do maliciously attack him, asking their viewers not to go over to and watch it properly and whatnot.
judge draws between these people infringing and other reaction channels. Because, by the way, I don't think he would win against other reaction channels. I think there's other channels that react to content or watch this whole video that he would lose against. But I think that word malicious may ultimately be the key.
Am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hassan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts. When Hassan gets up to go to the bathroom or to eat or to talk to his mom or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time. The video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area
gotta
around the
pee.
main airport in Sana'a. Then this.
Well, I've been seeing
I mean, to be honest, in most cases, I just think that's laziness, and that's just the format and maybe the way it lends itself to. There are certain points at which, and I can empathize with this as a law tuber. If we watch, for example, a court case, there are points at which, if we watch an 8-hour long court case, that we have to pee, or we have to go get some food, or we get a phone call, whatever. Something happens during an 8-hour long court case. You got to get up, you got to do something, you got to use the bathroom. I don't think necessarily getting up once or twice. However, if the majority of the content or the video is an empty chair, or more time is an empty chair than you're commenting, yeah, I do think that that could be a potential problem.
And it was in this
Like I said earlier, I literally, all they gotta do is put a Be Right Back screen on. The viewers will stay around if they're enjoying the content creator and not the actual video itself. There is a big fine line with it.
setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist? They couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published.
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would.
See that, and that's the defining line, I think, that keeps it. You know, people mention trap, right? Trap versus knowing someone's going to steal. So that's the dividing line. And
Yeah,
if you know the channels, it is pretty predictable that they would react to it in that way, because that's what they do. That's what they do with everything, right?
it's entrapment.
So if someone does that with everything, it's predictable they would continue to do that with future content.
I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published.
Excuse me, Ethan. Excuse me, Ethan. I did not react to this. I did not react to that. I did not react to that at all. Do you know why? There was no legal issue in that. So a lot of people wanted me to talk about that and wanted me to get into that. But at that point, it hadn't risen to, is there a legal question here? What's going on? Is this defamation? Because he hadn't said, hey, I'm suing or whatever else. None of that was at stake there. So for me, looking at that, I actually thought at the moment to myself privately, this could escalate into something legal. And I was actually thinking at the moment, is this going to escalate into defamation, slander, some sort of, legal suit over what they're saying about each other? That's the direction I thought. And to be honest, I was surprised when it played out this way, when it played out the copyright angle versus a defamation angle or some other sort of angle. So this is actually, to me, was kind of surprising, and it was an interesting surprise, but actually a pleasant one, because it gives me an opportunity to talk about the law in an objective way without going into the personalities themselves. So a pleasant surprise.
Now, the thing is, there were
It is good to know, watching these sort of videos, like getting the legal system's point of view from this.
a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denim sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon.
I can't wait for him to comment on the smoker who keeps fucking coughing.
views, and their intention.
So this is really bad. This is the really bad one. There's the having a documented list where you can say we're going to watch it without supporting H3. It's intentionally, and that's where the word maliciously comes in, maliciously trying to siphon views and be used as a substitute. That's not good.
Creators and rake in millions of dollars. But the purpose of this is not financial gain. You got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now, I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hassan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating?
Nope.
Even though theoretically I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain.
I think I need to invest in a new fucking chair, man.
People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them. Just
He would lose. So this is where I think he would lose. I don't
Yeah,
think
100%
he
lose.
would win against.
He knows
Asmongold.
that.
I think he would 100% lose, probably against SQC as well. Right. I haven't watched SQC's video on this. Watched a little bit of Asmongold's, which is why I can say that. But I'm very certain he would lose against Asmongold.
just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
They all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All three are on this list. In fact, they're the only three, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? Casey Tron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
Frogan, who, bless her soul, she's still rising.
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission? Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What
And they were
happens?
fucking talking.
And Denim's the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro! I love you, Hassan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive.
He never said Hassan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the...
Once again, I'm just commenting on the legal stuff, not the opinion stuff or the substantive stuff or the underlying issues, right? So, you know, their individual opinions on their disagreements with each other, et cetera, that's not really relevant to copyright infringement. So no comment.
complaints. And let's start with my favorite of the three, the very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical Casey Tron.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're going to watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think?
Yes, he's correct about that. Her saying that without supporting Ethan Klein, once again, that's a substitute nature. So that's where he gets into, that's where he's hitting it on the head. And that's, you know,
It's malicious.
Ethan has had a
100% malicious
with his lawyers. Unlike many other creators who just get on and blab and run their mouth, this is a pre-recorded video. It's not a live. So I'm sure he sat down and had a conversation with his lawyers. I'm sure his lawyers watched this video and they're like, yep, looks good. Send it out. So, you know, that's something that is a check mark in his box on that side.
Tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking, and thinking there was no way that could. The complaint continues. Indeed, Casey Tron is often too obliterated to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blank.
This is good. This is good legal writing. Like putting obliterated. The word obliterated is funny, but it's not inappropriate. It's not inaccurate. It's good legal writing. This is very good legal writing. At one point, she's so wasted. Like, once again, it just makes you chuckle a little bit, right? And that's what the judge is doing. The judge is a human being. They're not a robot.
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me can watch it through her is why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially if your commentary consists of you taking bong loads. At least try to engage with the content. Whoa, what was that? Oh, sorry. That was a flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys.
And what is good here, and this is something that was pointed out over my locals, I do like that he's like, let me page back here a little bit.
Frogan. It almost got me. You know her and you love.
Okay. I do like that he's showing the complaint because she's showing he actually filed. You know, when you see the complaint, you know it's real. You know it's filed. It's not just talking smack. It's not just something that you're thinking about doing. You've actually filed. You've actually filed. It's great.
Yeah, that is a big thing. Like, a lot of people might just be fucking saying they're not showing the proof, whereas he is actually showing the proof that he's filing it. He's filed it.
Love her, guys.
And it's not just all talks. But he does have a strong case.
Frogan. Reaction by exiting. Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that transformative? We'll decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. First time viewer, time to watch the nuke ethically. Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people. Reddit people, Reddit people. I came from the H3H3 Reddit. Ethan is so pathetic while his son is in Japan. I'm bothered having a great time. Exactly. We're gonna watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching through other streamers. And I suggest you all watch it through other people.
Yeah, again, another malicious attack, which is bang out of order
as well.
It's the
see that's the comment. That's the comment that damns her right there. It's not the chair stuff. It's that comment. I actually think that's the thing that the judge could come down and say, "Yep," because you literally said that. You said, I would advise you don't watch his video and you watch us." That might be the thing that they draw the line and say, that's where these people crossed over. See, Denims did it. She did it there. Very clear that she wants it to substitute for Ethan's video.
I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she...
Okay, that's kind of... I think they... Okay. Okay. Real quick. The Casey Tron one, she smoked more than she spoke. That was funny. Nightmare on Denim Street. I think that's a little pushing it. That's a little pushing it. They could come up with a better one than that. I'm gonna objection on that one. I mean, I like the legal humor, but that one, I don't know.
Denim said, quote, "Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content." Your content? The Queen of Self-Own and countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully, when I'm back, they're done with this.
Like right there, she said, hopefully they're done with this. If you're bored of it, why don't you just click off the video, watch something else, do something else, or put up your right back screen or skip it. You know, it's not rocket science.
we're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow,
Just put herself in a hole again by saying that.
subscribe, throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here. Because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize
Who do you want to watch it? What makes you think that your viewers want to watch it? Stick something else on instead of being petty.
it by asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content. That is like chef kiss. By the way,
So that's where we get into. So somebody mentioned statutory damages. So statutory damages is something that's prescribed by the statute. But beyond that, you can say, hey, I lost revenue, and the revenue they gained, I would have had. So you can make that argument for that revenue in addition to the statutory damages. See, so there's a large amount of damages. Just because there's statutory damages doesn't mean you're precluded from going after compensatory damages or other forms of damages, right? So that's an additional. It's like an and one. It's an extra point. It's it's more, right, than you would normally get. So that's a good thing, at least for Ethan, if he wins.
always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating things in that podcast? The queen of self-own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like I think filler content, like you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a react stream, and I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator.
That's not how the law works. By the way, that's not how the law works. The law doesn't care whether you are a large creator or whether you're a small creator. And that's not going to matter at all. Her feelings, once again, and like what she says there, she says repeatedly, her feelings, I would feel. The law doesn't give a shit about your feeling. It is what
100%.
Right?
Down.
Regardless of whether you feel bad about it or not. Some people don't feel bad about stealing, but that's still a crime, right? Some people don't feel
Is it
bad
the nail
about
on the
murder.
head with that?
It's still a crime, whether you feel bad about it or not.
That, my friend, is called theft, and you're a thief. And now I'm suing you. This is just a testimony to how brazen and how safe they've, gotten. That she thinks she can go out in public on video and say like, I'm stealing this content.
Okay, so that's the video there. That's what we have for that one. Interesting. I think once again, my final assessment here is that Ethan does have a chance to get past the motion to dismiss, to get past the slap statutes, and to get to discovery. I don't know whether he will ultimately prevail at trial, but I do think he has a good shot. I think he has a very, very good shot with these 3 specific targets.
Definitely interesting to see what a lawyer point of view is on this, to be honest. It is intriguing and interesting. But most of these streamers that he's suing, maliciously attacking him and whatnot, and deliberately admitting what they are doing